Welcome to a Legendarium special, which will cover a brief history of Memorial Day. In this special, we will talk about how a ceremony held by freed slaves in Charleston, South Carolina, became a national tradition. Memorial Day is an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, which honors the men and women who died while serving in the United States military. Memorial Day 2021 will occur on Monday, May 31st. Originally called Decoration Day, it originated during the years following the United States Civil War and became a federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, or participating in parades. The United States Civil War, which ended in the spring of 1867, was started when 11 southern states tried to secede from the Union and ended after 4 years of war and the emancipation of 4 million slaves. By the time the war ended, it claimed more lives than any other conflict in the United States history. Traditional estimates held that 620,000 Americans died on both sides, but recent scholars place the number even higher, at 750,000 in a republic of 23 million. It also required the establishment of some of the country's first national cemeteries. The people freed by the war held some of the first memorials for those who died serving in it. A commemoration organized by freed slaves and white missionaries occurred on May 1, 1865 in Charleston at a former planters' racetrack where Confederates held captured Union soldiers. At least 257 Union prisoners died of disease and were buried in unmarked graves, so black residents decided to give them a proper burial. In the 10 days leading up to the event, 24 black Charlestonians organized the graves into rows and built a 10-foot-tall white fence around them. An archway overhead spelled out "Martyrs of the Race Course" in black letters. Nearly 10,000 freed slaves joined in the official ceremony, which included sermons and the singing of hymns. During the years which followed the war, the U.S. Army dispatched teams of gravediggers into the battlefields which pockmarked the country. Removing the remains of thousands of war dead, the soldiers then interred them in huge cemeteries. Despite these efforts, for years afterwards, farmers in the former Confederacy struck the bones of dead soldiers with their plows. Both Northerners and Southerners accused one another of desecrating their respective sides' war dead. Nonetheless, by the late 1860s, Americans in various towns and cities began holding springtime tributes to these countless fallen. During these events, mourners decorated the graves with flowers and recited prayers. The town of Waterloo, New York, first celebrated Memorial Day on May 5, 1866. From that year onward, Waterloo hosted an annual community-wide event during which businesses closed and residents decorated soldiers' graves with flowers and flags. On May 5, 1868, General John A. Logan, the leader of an organization of Northern Civil War veterans, called for a nationwide Day of Remembrance later that month. In his proclamation, Logan declared, "The 30th of May, 1868 is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land." He chose the date of Decoration Day, as he dubbed it, because it was not the anniversary of any important battle. Choosing a particular battle would emphasize the service members who served in that battle over others, which General Logan did not want. However, he also chose a date in late spring, which would ensure plenty of flowers in bloom to place upon soldiers' graves. On the first Decoration Day, General and future President James Garfield, a pious man known as the Praying General, made a speech at Arlington National Cemetery. There, 5,000 participants decorated the graves of the 20,000 Civil War soldiers buried there. Many northern states held similar commemorations and reprised the tradition in subsequent years. By 1890, each Union state made Decoration Day an official holiday by order of its legislature. Southern states, on the other hand, continue to honor the dead on separate days, often based on local events, until after World War I. Despite Indian Wars and the Spanish-American War occurring in years to come, Decoration Day specifically honored veterans of the U.S. Civil War. That changed during World War I when the United States became embroiled in another major conflict. The holiday expanded to commemorate all American servicemen and women who died in battle, including World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. For decades, Memorial Day continued to be observed on May 30th, the date General Logan had selected. However, in 1968, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May to create a 3-day weekend for federal employees. The change went into effect in 1971 and also officially made Memorial Day a day to honor all service members, not simply those who died in the Civil War. The same law also declared Memorial Day a federal holiday. In December 2000, Congress passed and then President Clinton signed into law the National Moment of Remembrance Act to honor those who sacrificed their lives for the country. Each year on Memorial Day, a national moment of remembrance takes place at 3 p.m. local time. Cities and towns across the United States host Memorial Day parades each year, often including military personnel and veterans organizations. Some of the largest parades take place in major cities like Chicago, New York, and Washington, D.C. Americans also observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries and memorials. Some wear a red poppy in remembrance of those fallen in war, and on a less somber note, many take trips or throw parties and barbecues. That wraps things up for this Legendarium special. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.